call it the salad bowl of the world. Salinas Valley is lush with life and loaded with vegetables. The landscapes are breathtaking, and the nights are alive with deep oceans of twinkling stars. I live here right now and love the peace of the countryside. Sometimes I think about Hollywood, but since the pandemic pretty much destroyed the modern order of heavily populated cities, I've gotten a new start working on my education in a completely different culture. That's me, crying at my desk. My name's Ben. I'm a computer science and film major. But today I'm working on some extracurricular work. My passions inspired me to work on an animation film project. As you can see, things aren't going well. As you can see, things aren't going well.
You okay?
I'm working on a project.
It sounds like you're crying.
My heart hurts.
I'd say let's cut to the chase, figure out what to do, but I really don't know what to do. You know?
I know. That's why I don't bother telling you about all this shit. Just give me a little more time, okay?
It's just that everybody else is worried that we're never gonna finish the movie. That's why I came here to check in on you. See if you need some help getting through this project so we can get to work on the other one.
Yeah, I could really use some help converting the video into an animation.
I can do that. Where's your file? The Forgotten Inventor, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
Listen, I gotta go, but try buzzing someone else. I'm sure they can help.
So as he pulled away from the house in his crappy little car for the bazillionth time, I realized something.
Don't you mean gazillionth?
Did I say gazillionth? I said bazillionth. Open your fucking ears, man.
I don't think there's such a thing as a bazillionth.
There's no such thing as a gazillionth, you jackass. It's a hyperbole for a measure beyond human reason.
I know that.
If you knew that, you wouldn't ask such ridiculous questions. You just let me finish the story?
So finish the story.
I am.
Go ahead.
I will if you let me.
Go ahead already.
So, as he pulled away from the house, again in his crappy little car, for the gazillionth time, I realized, what the hell does it all mean? I mean, we're groomed since childhood to become slaves to money and work, a schedule that takes up more time than a third of our lifetime, 40 plus hours a week. If we get up at 6 a.m. and work from 8 to 5, unwind from 7 to 10, and sleep from 10 to 6, we only get 3 hours a night each week. That's 3 times 5.
15 hours.
15 hours during the work week. Then let's say we sleep in till 10 a.m. on the weekends and go to bed at 10 p.m. and those nights, that's 12 hours times 2. That's 24 weekend hours plus 15 weekday hours. That equals 36 hours of me time per week out of 27 times 4. Carry the 3.
168 hours.
How the hell are you so fast at math?
My little sister used to rip me off, stealing from my piggy bank. It helped me bust her ass when my parents didn't believe me.
Sad story.
You don't know the half of it.
So yeah, 168 total hours of being alive in 1 week on the fucking planet Earth. Divide 36 hours of me time over the 168 of living, breathing time available to a fucking human being in this life. That means I only get 21%. Ha! Not so fast percentages, are you, boy?
I was letting you finish.
Sure, you were. So 21% of my precious human life is all the time I have left. After coming home, after work to eat, sleep, shit, fuck, maybe watch television, or read a book if I'm lucky. Then I get to start the shitstorm I like to call my life. Back over again, 8 shitty hours a week.
Well, I guess life can be a shitstorm if you choose the wrong career.
Not everyone gets to choose their own career, Stephanie. It's called socialist organization theory and stratification.
I hate to be the bearer of cliché responses, but can you speak English, please?
Social disorganization theory basically means success and happiness is contingent based on where you live.
Success and happiness are contingent.
If you grow up in a nice neighborhood, the chances of choosing a successful career is likely to happen. Whereas if you grow up or wind up living in the ghetto, in social disorganization, you're likely not to succeed due to crime, neglect, depression, bad diet. It's a disorganized society. It's social disorganization theory.
Are you guys in the same class?
He's in the class, but I'm hearing this stuff from him 24/7, so I guess I'm in the class too. If you count vicarious learning being the rambling teachings of your best friend's thoughts on disorganization theory.
Glad to hear you're actually listening instead of doing math all day.
Speaking of disorganized, our indie producer is stressing out about something. Maybe one of you guys can go give him a hand. I'd help, but I really don't have time. I'm late for an appointment.
Yeah, sure. Where is he?
Working. If you guys reach him in time, you might be able to stop him from jumping off a building. He's really upset about something. I just don't have the time to help him out right now, so ball's in your court now, gentlemen.
Should I take them all? No! It pisses me off how people freak out if they happen to catch you sitting with your medication. It's a cruel, vindictive world. But the second you try to get help, someone loses their shit because you're not so perfect. When I was a kid, I invented these shoes with a wheel in them. We used to have to run a mile once a week in junior high. I remember feeling for the first time what it was like to have my lungs and skin feel like they were on fire, and my brain felt like a can of ginger ale after every run. But there was this one section of the perimeter that went downhill for like 3 whole suburban blocks. That was almost half the whole mile. Anyway, I remember designing this shoe, and I was going to put a skate wheel inside of it, so that way the next time I ran that mile, I could coast down the hill for 3 straight blocks, the wind cooling my hair, the oxygen coming back into my lungs, and if a PE teacher happened to see me, I could just start running again. Those were some good times. Being a young kid. It's crazy how time passes by and never comes back. Every year I get older, I realize that more and more. I definitely realized it when one day I was walking home after the mile and I was thinking about my shoe when out of nowhere, this crazy lady in a car came out, barreled right around a corner, nearly killed me. I was in a coma for nearly 6 months until I came to. It took me several years to even talk again. By that time, I was with my family in San Francisco. We were visiting a toy shop. I walked into an FAO Schwartz and saw it. The shoe with the wheel. Exactly how I had drawn it. It was on all the shelves. Last I checked, the company made over $400 million. Oh, there's Susie. Susie was my childhood friend. Sometimes it feels like she's the only one that really gets me.
What's up?
I'm working on a story about a guy named Louis LaPrince from the 1800s. Apparently, he invented the movie camera before anyone else did.
I thought it was Thomas Edison that invented the movie camera.
Yeah, I thought that too, but then I thought it was these other guys called the Lumiere brothers too, but I guess LaPrince invented it even before them.
That's weird.
Yep, I guess Edison stole it from that LaPrince guy. What is it?
No,
Susie, what is it?
I didn't want to tell you since you have a lot on your plate right now.
Okay, what's going on?
Remember your sister?
Which one?
The one who talked you into shoplifting at the store and got you in trouble?
Yes, you mean that bastard that begged me to steal stuff for her spoiled ass because she wanted to be cool or something. You know that she did that right outside of a church after we went to service? Asked me to steal? Evil little bastard. Fucking jellyfish.
Jellyfish.
Fucking jellyfish.
That's a hilarious name.
Yeah, I know. Her feet used to stink so bad she used to make this face like she just sucked on a lemon.
Oh, stop it.
I'm serious. All the kids started calling her jellyfish or jellyface. When my parents found out, they thought it was a hoot. So they started calling her jellyfish too.
Funny story.
Yeah. Urgh, gosh damn it. I don't even want to think of her right now. I got so much on my plate.
I know, but I thought you should know something.
What? She got the coronavirus?
Benjamin.
Susie, she ruined my damn life. Once a Hispanic person gets a ding on their record, they become a target for the rest of their life. Not like her racist ass would even care. Just tell me already so I can break down, lose my shit already, and get back to my day.
She wrote a play about you and it played in at least 3 theaters and was advertised with references to you, Ben, her brother, as a criminal because of that time.
What? You're fucking with me.
I'm totally not.
What? Come on.
Come on, Benjamin, would I joke about this?
Actually, no. Because you know how upset that would get me.
And I know you're already stressed, so I wouldn't mess with you at a time like this, especially with your anxiety.
I can't fucking believe this. 3 theaters?
3 theaters.
My name?
It says Ben.
Her brother.
Her brother, Ben.
How the fuck could that be? That's a misappropriation of my name and likeness.
I know.
She used my name, my identity.
I know.
Commercially and otherwise.
I know. Apparently they sold out several times.
They made money off of me? What fucking arrogance. And then it happened. I'm not exactly sure how or why or any other reason. All I know is that it has to do with anxiety, and it hurts, and my head gets clouded, and my stomach aches, it's in knots, and my heart, it feels like it's going to explode. The doctors say it's a combination of anxiety and PTSD and several other things. All I can do is wait for it to pass. I wound up in the hospital. Thank goodness it was only an anxiety attack. All I wanted to do was sleep. Just forget about jellyfish, forget about the Forgotten Inventor. Just sleep.
You okay?
I got dizzy and I think I fell over.
I heard about the fucking bitch jellyfish or jelly fuckface. I don't give a fuck.
Stephanie, you're a straight shooter. A good friend. Listen, I don't think I can finish the movie. This whole thing with my sister really has me hurting inside. Plus, I don't want to drag you into it.
Come on, I'm not gonna let some hood rat bitch mess with you like this.
I appreciate you being there for me, Steph, But what am I supposed to do?
Don't let your stupid sister or anyone in the world make you feel inferior or less than good. I know it's difficult, but you can use this terrible experience to speak out against emotional abuse and against exploitation for those that can't speak for themselves.
You know what, Steph? You're totally right. Thank you for saying that. Let's go make that movie.
Hey, Ben, wait up. I heard you were in trouble or something.
Huh? What do you mean? This morning, Stephanie said you were going to jump off a bridge or something.
Come on, you jackass. He's not suicidal. Steph was just using hyperbole.
I know what a hyperbole is, Ray. Haven't you heard of being a good, caring friend?
Hey, stop hitting me. My name's Reynold, you math-loving, no English knowing bastard.
I was trying to be nice.
Yeah, real nice telling the guy to jump off a bridge.
I wasn't telling him to jump off a bridge. I was asking if he wanted to jump off a bridge.
You insensitive prick, that's not what you're supposed to say.
I don't know what the fuck to say.
Guys. It's alright. I'm fine. Just stop fighting.
Stephanie said you needed help with your project.
Yeah, Stephanie sent us.
So, how can we help?
I promised a video project for the assistant professor, but I'm still all over the place. I got the clips and the sound bites, but the damn thing's not rendering correctly.
I got you, pal. I'm a tech whiz, plus I do voices and love messing with sound stuff, and, little Jonah here, he's great comic relief.
Hey man, I can do other stuff.
Sure, we'll get you help when the calculator breaks.
Seriously, Ben, we got you, man. We're your boys.
Thanks, guys. I did wind up finishing my film. They're playing it in class today.
Okay, good afternoon, class. We're going to get started here in just a moment. So, my name is Miss Tingy, and I'm going to be leading the class today, talking about film history. Okay, so that being out of the way, we're going to be diving into the history of film. So it would be a good idea to get out your notebooks at this point because there's going to be a timeline which is on the board behind me. But our lesson today will be mainly focused on the contribution of French-born movie camera inventor Louis Le Prince in the late 1800s, and how Thomas Edison, who we know, who is normally credited as the inventor of cinema, actually debuted his movie camera years after Le Prince. So let's move on to explore in depth the Forgotten Inventor, the true inventor of the movie camera, Louis Le Prince.
Once upon a time, a long time ago, in the 1800s, there was a dreamer. The dreamer had a dream of one day capturing all the beauty in the fleeting moments of this finite and quickly ending life. He dreamt of creating a machine to hold memories locked in time for others to ponder, to remember, to study, and to share their own dreams. This dreamer was Louis Le Prince. He had no idea his machine would later dub him as the true inventor of motion picture film. First, it's best to know a little about Louis Le Prince, so we'll talk a little about his background. Second, we'll take a look at his camera inventions and some timelines. Lastly, we'll talk about his mysterious disappearance. Louis Le Prince was born in Metz, a city situated on the beautiful riverbanks of Moselle and Seille rivers in northeastern France on August 28, 1841. Two main highlights happened during. He was the son of a French military officer in an order called Légion d'honneur, which originated by the hands of Napoleon Bonaparte in 1802. A friend of Le Prince Sr. tutored the young Le Prince in photography and chemistry lessons. This mentor was Louis Jacques Monde Daguerre, most famous for his contributions to photography and the invention of daguerreotype photography, which is one of the oldest forms of photography next to the heliograph. In 1866, after studying the craft of painting in Paris and then chemistry in Leipzig University, the Prince was invited by a college friend, John Whitley, to work with him at the family company Whitley Partners in the city of Leeds in England. It was there he met his wife, Elizabeth Whitley, John's sister, whom he married in 1869. The Prince finished out his contract with Whitley Partners in 1881 and moved to the United States, where he managed a small group of artists. It was then about this time that Le Prince really began working on his experiments of the moving picture. His achievements were his 16-lens camera and then a single-lens camera called the MK2. The 16-lens camera had the ability to film motion, but not without flaw. The image captured was photographed from a slightly different angle in reference to the location of each lens, which made it unstable. Le Prince again moved his family back to Leeds in 1887, and in late 1888 he built the single-lens camera called the MK2. He used this new camera October 14, 1888, to shoot the world's first recorded motion picture of life. It would later come to be known as the Round Hay garden scene. The footage is an actuality film that portrays real people, places, and events as they actually are without a story. The film features Louis' son, his mother-in-law, father-in-law, and most likely a friend of the family. 10 days later, his mother-in-law, Sarah Whitley, passed away. The sequence was recorded using Eastman Kodak paper-based photographic film at 7 frames per second. The original negative was lost, but not before the National Science Museum in London produced a photographic plate copy in 1930. In recent times, a YouTube creator remastered the historic recording with modern technology. Here it is. His quest of inventing the camera was a magnificent feat, but ultimately, Le Prince would not see the success of his innovation until later in history. In this time, in 1890, other inventors were also working to win the race and make the first real motion picture, like Thomas Edison and Edward Muybridge, who both met together. Muybridge offered collaboration on zoopraxiscope and the phonograph, but Edison declined to pursue success on his own. Le Prince, with a breakthrough in his masterpiece, was due to give a live public performance in 1890 at the Morris Jumel Mansion in New York. However, he mysteriously vanished after visiting his brother Albert that year in France. Albert, the last person to have seen Le Prince alive, stated that his brother had boarded the Dijon to Paris train in September 1890. When the train arrived in Paris, a group of friends waited for the excited new inventor of the motion picture to arrive, but he never showed up. The French police, also known as the Scotland Yard, along with Le Prince's family, searched feverishly for him, but to no avail. In May 1891, less than a year later, Edison goes public with the results of his new experiments with motion picture. In 1894, Edison is credited in the U.S. as the inventor of cinema with his kinetoscope parlor. The Lumière brothers in France were recognized as the inventors of the cinematograph in 1895. In 1898, his wife and children tried to resume progress of his discovery and contended with Edison in court when Edison tried to sue others, claiming that he was the first and only inventor of cinematography. During the proceedings, Le Prince's son was not allowed to present his father's cameras as evidence, and the court sided in favor of Edison. The court did allow Le Prince to show his father's film, Round Hay Garden Scene, from 1888, featuring Sarah Whitley, who died the same year, with proof of a death certificate. Although this clearly proved that Le Prince established a motion picture 8 years before Edison, the court still granted Edison favor due to technicalities in the patent filing and lack of understanding of the technology at the time. According to Thomas McGann, a writer for the Fire Island News, in a 2021 column titled Murder, Suicide in Pointo Woods, Le Prince's son was found shot to death in the Pointo Woods vacation hamlet next to the family cottage in Fire Island, New York. This was shortly after Edison's victory in 1901. McGann postulates, was it a murder or suicide? Just like his father, no determination as to what had happened has ever been made. Elizabeth, Le Prince's wife, was convinced it was another murder, and Edison was responsible because he knew that Le Prince's son knew too much. Le Prince was a man of vision that was born in France. He is still revered as the first inventor of the motion picture. His 2 cameras will forever serve as a grim relic in the field, and his mysterious disappearance will haunt the truth of its birth. Thank you for watching.
All right, so in conclusion, I hope you enjoyed the movie. I hope it gave you a lot more information and insight about the life of Louis the Prince. And as you can see, tragedy can often strike those who are vulnerable to exploitation. Thomas Edison was a shrewd businessman with a knack for using the courts to weasel opportunities away from original creators. So maybe this was not his only time he did this. And their inventive innovations. The point is clear that when you have a good original idea, you should protect it to the best you can. There are always going to be the non-creatives, the envious, the phonies that just want to steal the show and cash in on those who have labored or suffered through hardship for the sake of their creations, and sometimes even for liberty itself. So such is the fate of humanity, and I hope today has enlightened you as to the life of Louis Le Prince and all that he did to contribute to the first camera, the first single lens camera in history. Okay, that's all. Any questions? No questions? Okay. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a nice afternoon.